The next tree with a white community on it, that tree is our pineapple guava tree. However, you won't see any fruit on that tree, and that's because we do not have another tree to cross-pollinate it with. Then we're going to have an orange tree, lemon, kumquat, avocado, and 2 grapefruit trees over there. However, none of those are producing any fruit at the moment. To the left-hand side of the boat, you're going to see this little trio of trees, and these 3 little trees are ponytail palm trees. Now, if you look directly above your head, we're now floating under the tallest point of our resort. That point is just 15 stories tall. That ceiling you see up there consists of 6,200 panes of glass. So to give you an idea of how much glass is up there, if we took it all down and laid it side by side, it would cover 7 football fields. Now, our ceiling is to withstand hurricane force winds and golf ball size hail. Over to my left-hand side of the boat, we're going to be passing by our Delta Fountain, and this is where our popular and great atrium shows take place each night at 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now, those shows are choreographed to lighting and music, and they're quite spectacular to see. So if you're here with us later tonight and looking for something free to do, I suggest coming over and checking out one of those shows. Now to the front of the boat, just over that bridge, you're going to see that building. That building was Gaylord Marquis Old Hickory Steakhouse. Now, unfortunately, our Old Hickory is closed today, but should be open tomorrow, opening at 5 p.m. And reservations are recommended. Now, our Old Hickory is actually a replica of the Evergreen Plantation in Louisiana. Once we come out from under this bridge, we're going to have the waterfall portion of the river, and these waterfalls do make lovely backdrops for any photos. So I suggest getting your phones and your cameras ready for some pictures. Now, we actually have 3 waterfalls over here in this section. However, none of these 3 waterfalls is the tallest. The tallest waterfall is over in the Cascade area by the Falls Bar, sitting about 44 feet tall. One unique feature about that waterfall over there is that you can actually walk behind it. Now, our 3 waterfalls over here, they're not just pretty to look at. They are also the main filtration system for the river, overturning the entire river once every 3 hours, providing plenty of oxygen for our fish. So we do have some friends swimming along in here. We've got some blue cat, channel cat, carp, and bluegill. Now to the left and right hand side of the boat, you're going to see some trees with some broad leaves and slender trunks. And these trees are banana trees. And if you get to the top of the trees on either side, you may even spot a bunch of bananas starting to produce. Now these are Asian bananas, so they are slightly smaller, sweeter, and higher in potassium than the bananas you'll find at the local grocery store. Now if everyone looks to the back of the boat, you're going to see this bay window. This bay window is the original presidential suite of the resort and the only bi-level presidential suite we have on property. I have been told that several U.S. presidents, as well as many other famous people, have stayed in this suite, and then it goes from $3,000 to $5,000 a night. This tree we're floating under now is a banyan tree, and this tree is actually native to India, and many cultures believe that if you make a wish while under one of these trees, it will come true. Now, one interesting thing about this tree is the root system. So all the things you see hanging down from this tree, those are actually the roots. Now to the front of the boat, you're going to see that brick structure, and that brick structure houses our elevator. And that elevator is one of the main ways to get over to the Delta Island, which is located to my left-hand side of the boat. Now, on top at Delta Island, you can get a quick bite to eat. There's some shopping, and for your adults on board, even an adult beverage. Over to my right-hand side of the boat, if you look up on that hill, there are a couple more bunches of bananas, and they're a little easier to see than the other bunches. But there's also that large tree, and that large tree is a mahogany tree, and that tree was actually flown in and planted by helicopter before the roof went on this portion of the resort. Does anyone have any questions? Any other questions? So this boat is one of 5 boats that we have on our fleet, and they are actually replicas of Mark Twain's Mississippi flatboats. However, ours are a little more modernized, running on 16 car-size batteries. Coming up on my left-hand side of the boat, you're going to be able to see inside of our boathouse, and this is where we keep all of our boats when not in use. Now, the water inside the boathouse is about 5 feet deep compared to the 2 feet out here. So once we get inside the boathouse, we do have full steering capabilities of the boat, as there is no track inside, and that's also where a lot of our fish love to hang out since it is darker, deeper waters. Over to my right-hand side of the boat, you're going to see some large metal grates on the wall, and those metal grates are part of our ventilation system, helping us keep the temperature in this atrium between 68 and 72 degrees year-round. Well, not only is that temperature comfortable for us, it's also the appropriate temperature for our plant life. So if you look over to my left-hand side of the boat, you're going to see some trees against this brick wall. These trees are our cocoa bean trees, and those trees were actually a gift to us after our flood back in 2010. So to give you an idea of how much water was in here at the time of the flood, if you look to the front of the boat, you're going to see a bridge with the pastel light bulbs underneath. Well, the water was up to those bulbs. So we had about 10 feet of water in here. The mall lot back was completely submerged underwater. So we were closed for 6 months, and they were actually closed for 2 years. Any questions? Alright, as we make our way back to the dock, I'm going to ask everyone to keep their hands and arms inside the boat and to remain seated as one of my guest hands up here tell you to exit the boat. You'll exit the boat to my right, making sure you use your handrails downstairs for your safety. Front half, you'll exit first. Back half, if you hang on me just a moment longer, once we get them unloaded, we'll get y'all unloaded as well. And I want to thank you all for coming out and riding with us today. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. A safe trip home, and come back and see us again soon.